What's up, guys? We're here for another coaching call. Glad you could join us tonight as everybody's coming on board. Make sure you say hello in the comment section. Just say hello and who it is so that we know what you're here. Just give us a shout out. Tonight, the discussion, what we're talking about is the big three. And the reason we discuss the big three is your exercise program needs to be different than what most people think that it is. What happens is we get caught up in the word exercise or workout being some routine that is like, follow this, do this many times. It's complicated. You might break a great sweat, but you've done this stuff for years and it's never worked. So what we've done is put together a program that helps you change your physiology. So a workout, like in our promo today, we put, are you confused about your workouts? And you had Dustin all tangled up in the bands like he doesn't know what to do with them. What do you do? What is a workout? What does that even mean? So if I go for a walk around the park, is that a workout? If I grab a couple dumbbells and just do a couple exercises, is that a workout? It really isn't, because it isn't offering any sort of stimulus to the body. And when we're describing how you apply that strength stimulus, there's nobody better than my man, Dustin Seegers. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Hey, so tonight's topic is the big three, and we're talking to our community page about how to put together a routine when I'm short on time or I don't really know what to do. How do I do that? And I got a video from you yesterday, and just coincidentally, and on that video it said, just finished the big three. And I saw you, you were funny. I meant to upload the video because Dustin was like, hey, I just did the big three and I've had enough. It was 3 exercises that took you what, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, I've done calls today. I've done some coaching calls with people who are interested in our inner circle. And I want to explain some stuff to you guys. There's a particular stimulus that we are looking for from our activity. This particular activity we define as a workout. We define it as a workout when it introduces a stimulus to your body. So you have to learn to think a little differently. Losing weight is not just going out and doing a bunch of burpees and a bunch of cardio and starving yourself to death. What we're after is enhancing the lean muscle mass on your musculature so that you burn, so you look better, feel better, have more energy. So you burn more calories when you are not working out in the gym. Dustin, the other day before we talk about the big three, you made a statement and we were talking about cardio and you said, oh yeah, it's cardio, but cardio doesn't exist. So I'm sure that confuses a few people when we say something like cardio doesn't exist, because what you're saying is that jogging for exercise, the biking for exercise, the sustained cardiovascular activities don't exist. Well, they're not like UFOs. We can actually see people doing cardio. So it must somehow exist. But what you're saying is it doesn't exist in the way that people think when it comes to exercise.
Exactly. So if you want to be technical about it, we're doing cardio right now. So and this is the difference between a clinical view of exercise and a recreational view. The idea of cardio is, as most people understand it, I'm going to get my heart rate to a particular level and I'm going to maintain that level for a particular period of time. So, and I'm going to do that a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a week or whatever. So frequency, intensity, and duration. Frequency is 2 or 3 times a week. Intensity is usually going to be somewhere between 40 and 85% of my maximum heart rate within my target heart rate range, right? So you do that whole equation, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that equation is actually designed for exercise physiologists working with cardiac rehab patients. So a lot of people don't know that, but it's been brought over into the fitness realm, and people are confusing getting my heart rate up to a certain level for an extended period of time somehow means that that is an absolutely essential form of activity. And while I agree that we need to get your heart rate up for an extended period of time, the thinking is backwards, because you're thinking, I'm going to use my leg muscles, for instance, and go run to get my heart muscle to beat faster. When by design, your heart is designed to beat to supply your muscles that are exerting themselves. And so what we're saying is the more efficient way to go about it is to shorten that duration, work at a higher level of intensity to momentary muscular failure, to where you can't push the movement arm anymore on the machine or the weight or the band, and move from exercise to exercise, not necessarily quickly, but at a somewhat brisk pace, safely. And when you do that, you're going to get the same, if not better, results for your heart muscle, because you're actually working the muscles that need to be worked, and your heart muscle is going to get worked good enough indirectly by doing that without killing your joints.
Right. And that's what I was going to say next. So guys, here's what you have to understand. Let's say that you're trying to lose some weight. Let's simplify this quite a bit. You're trying to lose some weight. So you're thinking, okay, I need to burn a few extra calories. So the first thing in your mind is, I'm going to go do some cardio. So here's the analogy that we use, and we're going to get to the big three in just a minute. And that's why you're here. If you're here, you haven't said hello yet, make sure you say hello down in the comments. Say hello to somebody else in the group. And we're going to take this. Just give us permission. Let us keep your attention for just about 15, 20 more minutes, and we'll be out of here and done. And you will have learned something today. So here's what they do. They decide, okay, I'm going to go do some cardiovascular to burn off a few calories. So here's a concept. Let's say that you have been completely sedentary and have done nothing. So you decide to get up and take a light jog. Of course, there's a lot of stress on the ankles, knees, and low back, especially if you've been sedentary and you've been losing your muscle mass. So you're at risk for injury. Okay. But anyway, let's say that you go for that run. Well, let's jump into the future 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks into the future and you've been jogging. So you have introduced a stimulus to your body. Good job. Okay. You've gotten a little bit stronger. What must you do now to elicit the same response for the next 2 weeks? You must now go faster or longer. Okay. And 2 weeks from then, faster and longer, and then faster. So the idea is your joints can't take it. That's what we're trying to tell you. You are not only can your joints not take the abuse, and when you hit that wall, you're going to hit the wall, but you're also shedding your lean muscle mass by doing all of the cardiovascular training. So cardio should mean intensity. Maybe we could group it all into one thing. What's your workout? It's intensity. What are you doing today? Intensity. What does that even mean? That means that whatever I'm doing, I'm applying it to the body in a way where it's going to change my physiology, starting on a cellular level, inside out. That must be done by strength training. There's nothing else that can do it. So Dustin, I didn't tell you this, but I've got one of my clients dropping in tonight. And when I first started creating Project 49, she was one of my original guinea pigs. And all of the things that we do in the inner circle, all of the coaching that we offer the group here, she's already been through it and done it. So she has literally watched it evolve from when it was conceptually created to the national brand program that it is now. So I'm going to bring on my buddy, Pam Morrison. What's up?
Hey, guys.
Good to have you coming on board. Y'all have met, haven't you, Dustin?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Pam, Dustin, Pam.
So I'm the guinea pig.
She was a guinea pig in the very beginning when we started this out. So Pam, you were there. You remember probably when I created the name, when I started training people primarily over 40, but anybody who would listen. And Pam is an incredible student. She's a coach herself, and does everything exactly the way it's told. Tell us about Alan 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Alan 5 years ago. Well, I got yelled at a lot at Alan 5 years ago because of
No.
the mindset you're talking about, Alan, right? Where it's like, well, I have to do 20 different exercises, and what day do I do them, and which muscle group and when, and instead of just embracing failure, which is really hard to do, like just shut up, listen to Alan, and strive to fail. The goal is to fail. Like, how many times did I repeat that while I was in front of you? Like, the goal is to
quite a
fail.
bit, and you still do that.
I still do. It's
So
hard to embrace the mindset, right? Like, you don't want to be successful. You want your muscles to fail.
well, let's give everybody a point of reference of Pam. See if you remember this girl on the left.
Oh, yes.
Remember
Oh,
her?
gosh, yes. Yep,
So
I do remember her.
this was when we started the program. This is without cardio. This is strength training and intervals, the way that we do it. I want you to tell us a little bit about the process. How fast did it happen? And just tell us some about it.
Yeah, so for me, and I know everybody's different, but for me, like, the scale didn't move. Well, when I was that big, the scale moved fast. When I got down to just before the after picture there, when I was trying to lose that last, what I say, 20 to 30 pounds, the scale didn't move so fast, but the body changes came really, really rapidly. So the inches would just it's like it just melted off. Like, we go week to week. And I don't know if you remember, but Alinda would always measure me, and I would like squeal because like it would be another, I don't know, 5 inches gone or whatever. And like I don't even remember my total inches now. It was just crazy. But once the scale started to move, then it just like dropped like a concrete block as well. And I would say that, for me personally, it's getting into the right mindset for eating. Like, I think it's easier for me to come in and sweat and listen to you and let you yell at me and do what you say and then embrace failure and walk away. But being more disciplined with what are you actually eating and figuring out why you're eating when you go to eat was a key for me anyway. Like, figuring out what those triggers were and why am I eating? Is it a stress eating? Is it emotional eating? What's going on? And sometimes you just got to power through that. But forgiving yourself when you don't, and then getting back in there and failing again.
So, and you've embraced that now and you understand.
Yes.
And it also saves your joints and lets you do other things you want to do. Like, you are an avid rower.
Paddler. Yeah, I paddle. I paddleboard. I kayak. I instruct. And actually, and I box with you. And I hike, and I like to walk and hike as well. And just the strength training especially has made all those other activities that much more enjoyable, and I'm much stronger at all of them. And I was sharing with Alan a little bit earlier when I was getting my kayak instructor certification. The instructor actually used boxing analogies with me to help me improve my strokes. And then I was able to out paddle most of my friends that I was with because of the strength piece going on. And then you're hauling boats and boards all over the place. I mean, it's just to be that strong, and I'm over 50, and it's like it just feels good.
So strength training, the exercises that we do, and you're back with me one-on-one now, which is awesome. But the exercises that we do are not fancy. There's a lot of repetition. You do similar exercises over and over with always the goal of finding that stimulus within about 90 seconds. And so let me ask you this. How does it not get boring knowing that your workout is not going to be fun, but it's going to, it's going to work. That's probably why, but it's not going to be fun. It's going to be something that's mentally and physically challenging. Well, give everybody who may consider doing that, or anybody that might be in our inner circle also that's watching, what's some advice on how they can power through that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I you say, Alan, that it's called workout. It's not a fun out, right? Like, you've said that a lot over the last few weeks. And I think that's the mindset. Like, you come into it saying, I need to, it's 30 minutes, guys. So it's like, I need to just like get my head straight. And for the next 30 minutes, give it all I got and sweat it out. And then I'm done. I'm done for the day if I want to be, right? So it's 30 minutes out of your day. Some may not even take 30 minutes, depends upon what you're doing. But for me, it's about 30 minutes. I think of the term muscle through it. I hate to use that, but it is about just setting your intentionality to say, I need to do this. I'm doing this for me, and I'm going to feel so much better on the other end. Even if it's just the thinking of, I just need to get through the next 30 minutes. that's fun, but do whatever you have to do to get through it and not worry about a ton of variety. And I mean, sometimes I'll play music in my ears, but I don't even, half the time don't do that. It's just, let's just get through it.
When you're with me, I think I'm the music in your ears.
Yeah.
I
have music playing when you're not with me. That's for sure.
So one thing I want you to do is confirm with people that have a hard time understanding that the way we want to train is what gets the result. You had done other types of exercise.
Yep.
You worked with other people. You've done other things. It did not elicit the same response. So to get this body, this transformation, which is just unbelievable, it was strength training with short intervals and following a simple rules-based meal plan. Is that all true?
Yep. That is absolutely true. And it's not every day. That's the other key. I can't stress the rest enough. It's and that was hard for me to really embrace, because I want to move and be active. So realizing that being the difference between, like you said earlier, being active and working out, there's a difference. So I can still be active on those days, but I don't need to be totally tearing down my muscles every day. 2 or 3 times a week is what gets it.
Yeah. And one thing too about that is, and that's very important, what you just said, is there's a difference in training and recreation.
Yeah.
The recreation, if done properly, will actually help you recover from your strength training. So like, we're not advocating do the meal plan, the rules-based meal plan, do the strength training and the intervals, and then just sit around on the couch and watch TV. No, be active, go hiking, do those things, enjoy those things. But those things, that's recreation, but it's important for your mind, and it's important for your recovery. So I want to make sure people understand that we're not saying, hey, just sit around and don't do anything and watch TV or read books all the time. We're saying, no, you can lead a physically active life, but just don't confuse that with training. There's a huge difference.
Well, we're going to talk about a little bit of that training with the group now, Pam. I just wanted to have you come in and tell everybody that it worked for you and let them see that transformation. If you can, stay on board and listen, and I will see you. Actually, I'm training you in the morning, so I will see you then.
Bright and early.
And thanks for taking the time to jump in with us.
Absolutely. And for those that are not local, I would say you guys give Alan a shot with this program. It definitely works. You see the pictures, and just get your head straight and go for it.
That's the goal. Hey, buddy, thanks. Have a good rest of the night. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, Dustin. So I always like bringing in some of our people that have trained before, because, we're teaching people to think differently. Like, this is a different way. You've already done all these other programs. You've already bought the programs. You've already bought the videos. You follow the stuff on YouTube. It didn't work. So if you expect to change, you have to change what you're doing. So keep doing the same thing, get the same result. All this stuff is like, cliche, but it's true. So you finally come up with something that works, but then you have to reprogram people's minds to understand. So let's talk about this, the big 3. Let's say that I'm somebody that's on my community page here. They're listening to our coaching, and they're like, well, what about the workouts? We're not learning. We need to know that. It's okay. Well, we want you to know that. So if you had to break down, let's say I'm on limited time and limited equipment, and I've only got a short period of time to put together a workout. The routine to follow is called the big 3. We have a 3, a 5, a 7, and then we have our custom program that rotates workouts for maximum efficiency. Okay. But our big 3 starts with this. You want to go ahead and tell us what it is?
A push, a pull, a squat or leg press. That's it.
Can't be. It's too easy.
It sounds easy, but you saw the video.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. So for you guys that haven't seen this yet, we've got a series. We're going to go through here, and this is one of my clients, Ashley, and we videotape this, and we're going to show you what we're talking about when we say a push. So if you think we meant that you get to lay on the floor and do 5 push-ups and call it a day, you are a little bit mistaken. This is Ashley, and I'm going to turn this on, and you're going to watch me coaching her through a push-up series, and this would be one of the 3 movements. Let's check her out. What we're going to do with our first one, we'll change it up a little bit. We're going to go down and do our ISO at the bottom. So come on down and hold. So we start it, Dustin, if you keep our time, we're on a 30-second isometric. So she'd warmed up a little bit. The sweat's busting out pretty good now. We're warming up, aren't we? We good? All right, so abs are engaged, bottoms down, arms are at 90 degrees, so we're at a perfect isometric hold. She doesn't have to guess what muscle she's working. You can feel them, can't you? 10 seconds left. Okay, so at the 0, we're going to go into super slow. 3, 2, and up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, without lockout, go back. 8, 7. So she's got exceptional focus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up 10, 9. And it takes that kind of grit and focus to get through the failure reps of an exercise. And there's a minute, Ash. And now let's rep it out, buddy. Let's go. How many reps can we get? 1, 1,002. 1, 1,002. 1, 1,002. Exhale as we come up. 1,002. Down. 1, 1,002. Up. Down. 1, 1,002. Dustin, let me know when that 30 seconds is done. Down. 1, 1,002. Up. 1, 1,002. Atta girl. Got 8 seconds left. Come on down. 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 Pause. Come on. Come on. Come on. And when we get to the last one, we there, Dustin? Hold the bottom now. Go down and hold. And then we ISO at the bottom 3, and she's out. So right at the... Okay, so if Pam was still on, she would justify that she's been there a few times. Every one of our clients has been there. We're looking at, when we say push, this is the real deal. When you do a true push exercise and a pull and a leg, you have stimulated the entire musculature. So give us the 60-second version of that. How could 3 exercises that simple cause that bigger? And listen, let me show this. And for you guys who haven't seen it, here's Ashley's before and after and 4 weeks. So this was a 4-week change, and this is doing no cardio. This is following the strength routine. And 6 weeks, at the 6-week mark, she was even better than that. Like, it was amazing, the difference in her body. How does it work, Dustin?
One word: intensity. That's it. Intensity.
You made that pretty easy for me, didn't you? So what we're doing is we're taking a pushing motion like that, trains the chest, shoulders, and triceps. Don't think there's not core involved. There definitely is. A pulling motion trains the back and the biceps. You get some traps mixed into that as well. Also some core work. And then a strong leg movement like a leg press stimulates everything lower body. So those 3 exercises, a big 3, a push, a pull, and a leg press or high intense leg exercise does the trick for the total body. So Dustin, yesterday you did the big 3. What would you suspect that your heart rate was at the end of those 3 exercises that took you 6 minutes?
Probably 175.
Okay. Greater than what most people would be if they were just out for a jog. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. So you guys understand, and look, I've got a visitor up here tonight. Come on over. Olinda is visiting today, and we have some really good new interval and yoga workouts going into the Project 49 platform shot by her. If you don't know Olinda, her nickname is the Princess of Pain. It's kind of scary to live with that, you know? You got anything you want to say to the world?
Hello.
Hello. So she does a lot more talking when the workout is going on. So Olinda's got some yoga and some interval programs that we uploaded today that are really good because she's kind of been in demand to have her teaching. So we had to bring her on board. So I brought her up to say hello. Now you see her face. She looks all nice now. She won't when the workout starts. So Dustin, the big 3, when we're pushing that, there's a variety of ways we can do it, right? So we can implement it in different orders. We can change up different exercises. And what we like to do is put it in a way where you don't get bored. And the 3 can get the job done. We think the 5, the big 5 is a more efficient version. When you move to the 7 is literally a full body. And this is what I do with my clients. I do full body every day, each muscle group to momentary failure, 30 minutes flat. We don't need more than 30 minutes. that's the type of routine that we try to stick to. But this big 3 works for anybody. If they're short on time and they get the intensity right, you're going to get a benefit out of that. Like, so there's no excuse. You can make 6 minutes.
Yeah. The strongest I've ever been and the leanest I've ever been, I was doing a variation of the big 3. I was strong as an ox. And what actually kept me from continuing to improve was I got injured. And I didn't get injured from strength training, from proper strength training. I got injured from doing cardio. And so and this is another example of why I am so anti, and this is really hard to say because I enjoy the feeling that I get from running. I enjoy the endorphin release that I get from doing that type of cardiovascular activity. But I'm probably looking at some hip surgery in the future because of that. And
because of the running.
Yeah, because of the running. So don't make the mistake I did and not listening to the good coaching that I had when I was a teenager. You know, just forego that high impact, long duration. That's the problem, is the long duration. Stick to the big 5, the big 3, add in that interval training and be active. Go for that hike. Go to the beach. But
all of that is recreation, and that's something
it's good for your mind. It's good for your heart. It will get your heart rate up a little bit. That's fine. That's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's not, and this is where you have to grasp
training.
And it's not, we use the term cyclic, not picking on cyclists. The cyclic motion of running is repetitive stress over and over on that joint, ankle, knee, hip, back, ankle, knee, hip, back, ankle, every step. So any motion that I do, even a repetitive swimming, it's the same motion over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So to get the desired stimulus, I have to do it a very long time.
And hard. And you have to do it hard.
Versus strength training, where I can take a weight and increase my resistance, stay slow and controlled, and elicit the stimulus. So guys, here's a plan for you. If you want something to follow, you're going to want to get on a big 3. Okay. A lot of you've already seen our rules plan for a meal plan. Follow the basic rules. That's 1 page out of a 200-page document. We gave you 1 page. People in this group have already lost up to 14 pounds. If that gives you any idea what the full version of this is like. Okay. Strength training, we're giving you a framework. Want something to follow? You'll start with this: push, pull, legs. But it's got to be intense enough to take you to failure. You follow the rules. You make sure you get enough protein so that you can build lean muscle. And this is another thing. And I feel like I'm doing a product placement ad, but I've got some Perfect Amino. And you guys know that I set up a deal with this company. And my deal was, I called and said, look, I like this stuff. I want our people to have it. Discount it. And I wasn't going to offer it unless they did. So they offered us a discount. And apparently enough of our Project 49 people have bought it to generate us our own page with our own special link and discount. And first-time customers getting Perfect Amino are getting like a great deal. And if it's on auto ship, it's 20% off all the orders. It's better than any discount offered even on eBay or anywhere else. And it's consistent. So here's why we recommend this. Go ahead.
Don't take it before you go to bed like I did.
Yeah, you might have a little too much energy.
You will not go to sleep.
So what we've done is find a supplement that only has 2 calories. That's the equivalent of 27 grams of whey protein. So when you're trying to get enough protein in, and hey, look, if you can do it with your diet, then by all means do it and don't spend a dime. I was unable to do it. My wife, my son eats like a horse. He was unable to do it. The second we added it, start putting on lean muscle, the scale moves, lots of great stuff happens. There's a lot of testimonials taking it. Here's my point with this. When you take the big 3 and you start the workout and you get the diet right, and then you add something like the Perfect Amino, and it's in a powder and it's in a pill. When you add that on board and give your body enough protein without eating too many calories, there's nothing closer to magic than you're ever going to see. So you just got to understand that there's a few things in there. So listen, if you'd like the link to this, to our special members link, just respond me in the comments. Just put me in a comment, and I'll go back later and I'll send everybody that link that hasn't gotten it. And it's a first-time customer discount for that. So Dustin, here's what they have today from us. You've basically given them the framework of how to lay out a basic strength exercise, a basic strength routine. They have meal plan information, diet, and the right mindset. And I want to go over, I see one question on here. I love this. What's the best pull exercise? Well, that's going to depend on you, your shoulders, what you can handle, yep, what the what type of strength level you currently have, your strength, your ability, integrity of your joints. I mean, there's lots of things that go on. I would probably say most people can start with a seated band row very safely. Yeah, a seated band row. After that, it's where coaching kind of comes in. It's like you sort of need, like we give probably 12 different varieties of effective pull exercises in our Inner Circle 6-week course, because the goal is to give every body type something that works, that allows them to reach the intensity. Because here's the thing, if this person grabs a 10-pound dumbbell and starts a little bent over row like they see on YouTube, and the back's not in line, they're going to hurt their back. But another problem is the weight's not heavy enough, so there's no stimulus.
Right.
So you start doing a little pull exercise, you're like, well, nothing's happening. You're right. There's nothing happening, right, because there is no stimulus, because you missed it. You missed the point. So you have to find the pull, the push, and the leg exercise that works the best for you, and then build on it. And I know Robin, who asked that question, she's a little more advanced, as in she's been training for a while, but getting her to change over to a mindset of where I'm not just repping, I'm going to failure. Because if I go to failure, like Pam said, embrace it. You'll come back a lot stronger. It'll pay off. Yeah. So guys, glad you could join us. We try to stay right about 30 minutes so we don't take up too much of your time. I'm going to go through and see if there's any other questions. Dustin, is there anything you'd like to add to the big three, conceptually, the mindset behind doing that?
You know, when I've done the big three or even the big five, one of the things that's really interesting is I've gone now for a very extended period of time without doing any running, any type of what we typically call cardio now for a couple of years, actually. And when I do the big three and the big five and do it twice weekly, along with being an active person, I just have more energy when I'm doing heavy yard work, or when I'm doing my martial arts class, or any type of activity. My joints don't hurt. It's amazing, because when I'm hiking, I don't get out of breath. I noticed that when I was doing a lot of running, I would go hiking and I would get winded quite easily. And what was happening is that extended duration running that I was doing was eating a lot of, like, my quadriceps, my glute muscle tissue. I looked gaunt. You know, I kind of looked gaunt in a lot of my photos during that time period. And now I feel, other than the some of the hip problems I had from doing that stuff years ago, not the strength training, I feel great. My joints feel good. You know, I feel I don't get out of breath. I don't get winded when I'm doing physical activities. So I'm telling you guys, we both practice what we preach. And not only that, but we've applied this to hundreds of people through the years, and we've seen amazing transformations. We literally don't have the time to go through all the photos that we could show you of people.
I do. I literally have to handpick them because I have so many.
There's so many. We just can't. We don't have the time. So,
Dustin, I want to address a question real quick.
Sure.
From Greg. He asked the question, how do you accomplish the type of pushing exercise with that intensity if you have a shoulder issue? And Greg, I'm going to answer that for you. I'm going to recommend that you start out in a strong range of motion on the extension, so that you don't come so low. So I want you to put your arm at 90 degrees and then come outside of that 90, and let's start out doing your reps in that top range. I want you to try that first. it might take you a little bit longer to fatigue, but you're going to find that if you can stay in this top range of motion most of the time, if you're not going deeper into that push-up, which is only a problem if you have a pre-existing, okay? If you're not going so deep, you're probably going to be okay on that. Just stay in a stronger range. Same thing if it's your knees on the squat, stay in the stronger range. Same thing if it's cervical, neck, or issues in your back. Don't force that full range of motion. Find a range of motion where you can get a stimulus and hold right there. Dustin, we may need to have a special session coming up for these guys just on working around some of the limitations that people might have, so they can still get this type of training even if there's a limitation of some kind. So guys, hey, listen, thanks for joining us. We have, if you're interested in the aminos, the perfect amino and the discount, put me in the comments and I'll be glad to send you a link. Something else we've been working on for a couple of weeks, we've been putting together a special 21-day version of our 6-week program. So what it'll do is it'll give you the ability to get in on our inner circle, learn all of this stuff for 3 weeks. And if you're like hook, line, and sinker, like most of our inner circle members are, you also have the option to continue it and finish up to continue by adding on the rest of the course and wrapping it up. But it's a 21-day training program, which is going to be half of our 6-week inner circle. So some of our guys on here, Casey, Ashley, Pam, any of the people that have already been through the program that are on tonight will tell you there is a lot of information, a lot of valuable stuff, and it's literally day-by-day guidance. So day by day, you get a plan of exactly what to do. It's broken down in video form and printout form, and it's easy to follow. It's not open yet. It's coming. We'll let you know when. Until then, just keep joining in the calls. Learn as much as you can about how we think and how we train, because when you start a course like that, you're going to want to be ahead of the curve and ready to get some great results. So my man, Dustin, thanks for joining me on a Sunday. Guys, Dustin, I'll see you back tomorrow night at 8 on our Inner Circle call. Rest of you guys, we'll see you ready in the week. Look for some tips from us throughout the week on nutrition and some strength training. And if you have questions on the big 3, make sure you ask them on the page, and we'll be glad to help you guys out. Have a good rest of the night. Thanks for joining us and spending a little time with us on a Sunday night. We'll talk to everybody soon.